Hello, welcome back to another video with Average Guy's Garage. This is part 6 of the 2000 Toyota Corolla transmission replacement. It started out as engine and transmission, but during the process we decided to leave the engine in place, and we had enough room to take the transmission out. We left the engine in place. We had enough space to take the transmission out by itself. Now this is the replacement transmission I received from the recycle yard with 90-day warranty. I'm just looking over it to see they left this engine mount in place, and that's the one that goes to the front of the car. They left this bracket for the transmission mount. That's good. And they removed the one back here, which we have access to now when we lowered the suspension. I've got this cable set here, but they cut it right here, so that's fine. I'll be able to reuse, I'll be able to use the wiring harnesses in the vehicle. And then they cut these hoses, but I'll take the ones off the other transmission and replace those here and here. Secondly, I was reading that we should always replace these seals, so I bought new seals right here to go into the transaxles, and this is a seal puller from Harbor Freight, less than $8. Seals were $1.99 and $2.99, so it's a very good price. So I'm going to replace these seals. Let's take a little video of that. So I'm going to use a 4,000-pound strap here from Harbor Freight as well. Come around, see if we can get a better grip on this. Watch your fingers. All right. So once I had it over the tailgate, I used this hydraulic release here, and that lowered it slowly, and I was able to swing it over the tailgate. Then I will tighten that back up to be ready for the lifting. There's the seal. Now, and their seals look like there's two different sizes of seals, possibly, unless they gave me two different items. This one seems to be too big. I'm pretty sure I don't have the right seals. I've got that one. And then I have this one that looks like it's the right seal. This is the new one. So that looks right. Unless they're different sizes for each axle. Spin it around here and find out in a second. Okay, the second one is out, and it is indeed a little larger. So the larger one goes on the short transaxle side, and the smaller one goes on the long transaxle side. So I did get the right parts. This is the replacement part here. So now I'm going to put the new seal in, and I've got a little bit of the transmission fluid around it to ease it in so it doesn't tear up the rubber when it goes in. Just put a little bit of it around there. Gonna get it started as flat as you can. See, that was not the right way. Alright, now the recommended way is to use your largest socket and put it over, but I have a 35mm and that's not large enough to do it. So the other method is to tap it in with a hammer and a screwdriver and try to get it straight. So we'll see if I can do that here. Nope. Fail number one. I could clean it up before I put it back in. All right, so I got it started, and I'm going to just pull this rubber down so I'm not hitting that with the hammer. And I'm going to just go around it to get it to seal. And you see there's a little bit of a gap right there, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. It's still got to go in. So now that I have it started, I'll use the screwdriver to finish tapping around it. It's going in really well now. Not too hard, you don't want to damage the seal. It doesn't take much effort to get it in there. Seating nicely now. Once it's all the way seated, you can feel the difference in the screwdriver. It will just have a solid feel. All right, that looks good all around. That's the first seal in place. Alright, it's going in pretty nice. Solid on that side. Solid there. That feels good. Went in solid all the way around. Alright. 2 new seals are in place. Now I'm going to spin it around right here. And we'll focus on a couple of other little things here. Take these connections off, get it out of here, and then replace these 2 cooler lines that they cut the hoses on. Alright, taking off these 2 hoses that they cut. Disconnected that electrical part. Not sure what I did with it. And then I'm going to take off this right here because they cut this, and I think this is a ground from the battery terminal. And they cut this as well, so I'm going to take this off. Has a little connector here, and replace that back from our in the car. I think that's a 12mm. I also took this bracket off here. That was a 12mm. And I removed the engine mount here because I didn't want to have any extra stuff in the way when I lift it into the car. Okay, now with the new seals in and some of the cut pieces from the yard off, we've lifted it. It looks balanced better this time. So I'm going to lift it just another inch or 2, bring it off, then lower it down, and then I'll transport it up between these 2 over to some cardboard here. Set it down right there, slide it under the car, and then we'll try to reach in here, move some of this out of the way, and then bring it up and try to get it connected again on this front engine mount and the bell housing bolts, and then we should be able to go from there. Okay, clear from the truck. Lower it down a little bit so it's safer to transport. Okay, now we'll take it over to the cardboard. See if we can steer it right in between these two legs here. Alright, that did it. Okay, the new transmission is now slid into place underneath the Toyota, and we're going to hook the crane and hoist it into place and get it connected. Let's see, at the driver's side engine mount, and then get the bell housing back on, and then that should hold it in place, and we'll pick it up again probably tomorrow morning. Alright, we have it in position under the car like we showed just a second ago, and then we also have the chain hooked up to the strap. So in a few seconds we're hoping we can hoist that up to get this in place right here into that bracket, and then we can get the pins to set for the bell housing, put those bolts on, and then call that a day. Starting tomorrow morning, putting the cross member back on so we can put the front support on and the back support on. And then once all that's together and supported again and the suspension's back in place, we start putting all this rat's nest of stuff back together here. Okay, started to come up all right. I'm gonna move the move this a little bit to give me more room. Okay. Alright, so the idea is to get this right here around here so I can put this bolt through and hold that in place. Alright, so I'm going to use another floor jack to straighten it out so it'll go up level. Trying to remove a bungee cord so it's not in between the flywheel and the torque converter. Okay, I think I have that. That was helping support and keep the torque converter in place on the way up. Alright, what's holding it there now? See, okay. Alright. I think it can go up a little bit now. Okay. Alright, alright, that's looking good. Now, I think I need to let that down just a little bit. Okay. So now, this empty space right here has to go around this, so I got to push the transmission back that way a little bit, but it's getting lined up more perpendicular here. It's getting lined up better here, more perpendicular. So make sure everything's out of the way, and I'll try to bring it up a little bit more. No way right there. I got to let it down. I got this tube stuck underneath there. Alright, so this tab here was stuck behind this bracket for the battery, and it was touching over here, and that was keeping me from positioning. So now I think the engine is getting close to me being able to. Now it's hitting again on the lower part of this bracket, so I'll have to lower it down just a little bit more, then I'll be able to push it over to the side, and then we'll jack it up. I think we're getting right on it right now. Okay. So what we're trying to do now is this little flange here on the torque converter's got to fit into the hole that's inside of these bolts here, and it's almost there. Once that's lined up, it'll move forward and give us more room on the back side there. It's just getting very, very close now to getting this bolt into this mount. Once that's in, then we can raise and lower the engine here to get the bell housing to line up with the engine. Alright, success on the driver's side mount. I used the largest wrench I had, and I moved the transmission over, and I was able to line up the bolt for the mount and get it in.